The battle between President Trump and Democrat-led cities has once again intensified, and this weekend it reached a boiling point. In a dramatic turn of events, a federal judge in Oregon has temporarily blocked Trump's plan to deploy federal troops to Portland, while at the same time, the White House has authorized hundreds of National Guard troops to be sent to Chicago. These parallel developments mark a critical moment in Trump's ongoing confrontation with state and city leaders, many of whom have strongly opposed federal intervention in local law enforcement matters. According to the White House, the National Guard mobilization in Chicago is aimed at protecting federal officers and property amid what it calls violent riots and lawlessness. However, state leaders, including Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, say this is an overreach of federal power and a threat to states' constitutional authority. Governor Pritzker said the Trump administration's Department of War issued him an ultimatum: call up your troops or we will. He described the demand as outrageous and un-American, emphasizing that no state should be forced to deploy its own military forces against its will. Meanwhile, in Portland, District Judge Karin Immergut, herself a Trump appointee, issued a temporary restraining order blocking the president's deployment order. She ruled that Oregon officials are likely to succeed on their claim that Trump exceeded his constitutional authority and violated the 10th Amendment. The judge noted there was no evidence of a rebellion in Portland that would justify federalizing the Oregon National Guard. She further stated that recent clashes between protesters and federal officers, while unacceptable, were not beyond the capability of local law enforcement to handle. Her ruling places Oregon's National Guard back under the command of Governor Tina Kotek for now. The Trump administration, however, has already filed notice of an appeal to the Ninth Circuit Court. As legal battles play out, tensions continue to rise on the streets. In Chicago, protests and confrontations between demonstrators and federal agents escalated dramatically on Saturday. According to the Department of Homeland Security, a woman identified as Marimar Martinez rammed her into a federal law enforcement vehicle. Officers fired what they called defensive shots after she allegedly brandished a semi-automatic weapon. Martinez was hospitalized and later taken into FBI custody. Another person, Anthony Ian Santos Ruiz, was also detained in connection with the incident. Witnesses and footage from Reuters captured scenes of chaos, tear gas, flashbangs, and pepper balls filling the air as protesters fled the scene. One local resident shouted to reporters, "This is Brighton Park. This is not a war zone." Despite the federal government's framing of the situation as a national security concern, local officials maintain that the protests have been largely peaceful and that the federal presence is only adding fuel to the fire. The broader picture remains clear. The Trump administration's tough-on-law stance continues to collide with the autonomy of Democrat-led states. The legal question now before the courts could reshape the limits of presidential authority, defining how far a president can go in deploying military power within U.S. borders. And as the situation unfolds, both Chicago and Portland remain at the center of a national debate about power, protest, and the balance between federal control and states' rights. This story is still developing, and we'll keep you updated as more details emerge. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to InsightPulse for in-depth political coverage, unbiased updates, and powerful insights into the stories shaping America. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a major update.